Wednesday evening, and here's the latest update. So we have two, well, were hurricanes out in the Atlantic. So we have the remnants of Umberto here and then Imelda. Now, if we look here and follow the track, you can see that through tomorrow, the remnants of Umberto move well towards Ireland, while Imelda is still pretty much here. Now, some of the energy from Umberto is consumed by Imelda because some people are talking about them merging. They're not really merging. They're kind of still doing their own thing. But the remnants of Umberto gets re-energized, as I've been saying, by the jet stream and comes up here towards Ireland. Now that's a little bit further northwest even on the GFS weather model than it had been shown, but that will come towards us on Friday. While if you look here, you can see Imelda is still there. Now, if we go through Friday and Saturday and into Sunday, we can see that the remnants of Imelda, which weakens a lot, possibly could come towards us on Monday. Now, it's not going to be a whole lot. It could be some rain, not much wind, but in terms of rainfall for early next week, that's why there's uncertainty there. The good news, however, is high pressure looks likely to come back towards us next week. Now, this far out with this many things happening in the Atlantic, you could never be sure. But if you want some good news, high pressure may well be going to return. In the short term, we have weather warnings out. So, the orange warning now is for Kerry, for rainfall on Thursday before Umberto on Friday. So that's very heavy rainfall tomorrow, Thursday, and then there's a yellow wind warning for the entire country on Friday. If we look at the rainfall assembled charts, now purple here means it's very likely. Okay, so what we can see here is that over 50 millimeters is likely in a good part of Kerry. Few spots in the west, northwest Galway there, just the odd little spot around Donegal, Mayo, but it's mainly down to Kerry and Connemara. But there is over 40 millimeters in a wider area, and obviously over 30 millimeters in even more areas, and most areas will get over 20 millimeters, just the east escaping with probably 10 to 20. However, if we jump forward 24 hours, we can see another 10 millimeters for the whole country, and that's Friday basically. And if we look down to the southwest, we can see another 30 millimeters in parts of Kerry is possible. So add that to more than 50, you're looking at 80 to 90 millimeters. So if we look at the rainfall, and we see here the total rainfall, if we go through to the end of Friday. The combination of that, where you can see orange here is over 50 millimeters, and then these kind of pinkies reds are over 80 and 90 millimeters. So unfortunately there's a lot of rainfall to come between Thursday and Friday, but Met Éireann's weather warnings only take into account the amount of rainfall in 6, 12 or 24 hours. So you don't get the combination of the rain Thursday and Friday to make a bigger rainfall warning. That's not how the rainfall warnings work, unfortunately. So if you're in an area that's prone to flooding, especially in along the west coast and even into some parts a little bit further inland, then be aware. Further east, rainfall amounts will be lower, but still 30 to 40 millimeters of rain in many parts of the country between tomorrow morning, well, between tonight, Wednesday night, and Friday evening. The worst of the winds do look likely to stay out in the Atlantic, but at the same time here, this is the high resolution weather model showing us winds for 5 o'clock on Friday. We're still looking at gusts possibly up to 120, 130 kilometers an hour just off the west coast. If you're on the west coast, that's something to be wary about. Obviously, this time of the year, there's still leaves on the trees. All that rainfall, you could see some trees coming down. You could see some power outages. So while the wind is not as significant as what we would have seen in storms that we would get generally in the winter, at this time of the year the impacts can be a bit bigger. But obviously the track is still a little bit uncertain, but hopefully it will edge further northwest like we've seen on the GFS weather model. But there's a lot of rain to come. There is a lot of wind to come. If we look here at the rainfall, it's still updating, but if we look here, this is for 12 o'clock tomorrow. You can see tomorrow afternoon very, very wet right across the country, and then it will ease off and clear for Thursday night. But then here on Friday you can see more rain. That's lunchtime on Friday, more heavy rain, but that will clear Friday evening, and good sunny spells for Saturday, but very, very windy on Saturday. So just to give you an idea of the winds for really the weekend, because it is going to be Friday and Saturday that's going to see the very strong winds. right across the country. Strong winds Thursday evening as well with that rain just tomorrow evening. So tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. But then if we go through Friday, you can see very strong winds. But on Saturday, very windy, and they will ease then for Sunday is the good news. Obviously, a little bit of uncertainty, as I said, around Monday. You could see some weather model do show some strong wind, not as strong, but on Monday and some rain. But that depends on Imelda and what happens there. So that's the latest as of Wednesday evening. I'll have more updates obviously tomorrow, but watch out for that very, very heavy rainfall and then the strong winds.